Hey, what's up, y'all? My name is Aurelia Michael Holmgren. Welcome back to my channel and my series, 40, Fertile, and Fearless. And today we are talking about, well, you'll be seeing more than I'll be talking, second trimester workouts. So the reason I wanted to do this is right now I am 22 weeks pregnant. I am doing my second musical since being pregnant, and I have been a competitive bodybuilder for the last 4 years. So I've had a lot of experience with bulking, cutting, all things in between. And so navigating my second trimester has been really interesting because my energy is up high. I'm super excited to get to the gym, but obviously I can't do as much as I used to, which also includes the sauna, which includes hot yoga and all the things that I love. So I wanted to show you guys what I do, my personal 4-day split for the week. I will also link it below in the description so that you have it as well. Make sure you talk to your doctor first before you go on out there and start doing things. You know, technically you're supposed to work out in the same way that you were doing before, but hopefully these will give you a few exercises to spice up your routine. Or if you've been honestly like, child, I have not lifted a finger except to change the channel, there's no judgment in this community. So hopefully this 4-day split will help you out and enjoy. Oh, P.S. If you're one of those technique police, we're not doing that up in here. I'm more so just showing you the overall, I'm just showing you overall what the movement looks like. But go ahead and do your research. Go ahead into those personal trainers and those coaches and make sure you're doing it in a way that is best for you. And pass this along to anybody you may know in any trimester that is looking for a new workout routine.
Okay, so before we get to the workout, can you see how I am working out this one piece? I never even wore this when I wasn't pregnant, but it's cute. All right, let me get to it. So I always start any day with cardio. Love me some Stairmaster, so you'll either catch me writing in a book, my gratitude journal, or you'll catch me in a Sudoku book. Either way, I'm keeping my hands off the rails. All right, day one, which doesn't have to be a Monday, but for me it is, we're doing some chest shoulders. I'm starting off with the chest press machine. Mind you, you can do these in any order that feels good to you. It's your trimester, it's your pregnancy, it's your baby, it's your life. I enjoy the control that this machine brings. I don't really care for this one that has the leg lift, but in general, I enjoy this machine, but I do personally love the bench more. Next up, something we probably haven't done since middle school gym session are your incline push-ups. And we want to do the incline for obvious reasons. I don't want that belly flopping and flopping all over the floor. I want to be on this incline. I still was getting a good workout. I was feeling it. Next, we have the lateral cable raise, one of my favorites. Some people like to bring the arm above the shoulder. Some people like to tip the hand so the pinky is higher than the thumb. Personal preference. This was actually really hard because the weights were starting at like 15 pounds. So an alternative, if you find that the cable is too heavy, you can use a dumbbell, which I use all the time as well. Just depends on where I'm at when I'm training. Next up, I can superset this with some front raises. That way we're attacking all different sides. When I start to get tired, I put my hands to the side or a little bit behind me. Some people also like to do it with their arms facing up, but because I'm dealing with an injury, I'm good. All right, now we have our overhead press machine getting into those shoulders. If you don't prefer dumbbells, this is a great option. You can also get the weights pretty high without you having to take them from the ground up or from whatever rack that they're sitting on. So this is a great challenge. As you can see, your girl was showing it in her face. I needed to flatten that back. Dumbbell rear delt raises, as I mentioned, we want to attack all areas. I'm obviously not bent over too much because then I'm going down. I could have definitely straightened that back a little bit more, but you know, it is what it is. I was hot, I was tired, but I was doing this for y'all. All right, as I mentioned before, your girl loves a dumbbell chest press. You can also do chest flies here if that's how you want to end your day, but I had to get these in even though I already use a chest press machine. Plus, I'm just on a different angle, so that'll get the chest going. All right, day 2, my hammies, glutes, and abductors. I usually start on the seated abductor machine. I don't go too heavy just to make sure I don't wear myself out too early, but I love it for a warm-up. Next, we have our leg curl. Didn't really care for this machine as well. I usually have to remember to wear pants, but it got the job done and I was feeling it. I wasn't feeling that fat I was seeing in my legs, but that's another story. All right, leg press. So for those who may be petite and powerful like myself, you know it can be really hard to find a machine that works for our little legs, but this one did the job. And I got a really, really, really good pump out of it. I kept the legs wide to make space for belly. And even though my face may not look like it, I loved it. Next up, we have RDL, slight bend in the legs. It probably looks like my legs are almost straight, but my legs don't lock, so I don't have that issue. I'm not doing any drops. I'm not dropping weights. I'm not going all the way down. I want to get just enough that I'm feeling it in the hammies. I was pleasantly surprised that they had this glute kickback machine. This is one of my favorites. I don't mind using the straps around my ankles, but this was a set it and forget it. And do you see those glutes? Okay, girl, I see you. Make sure you switch sides. I usually try to go with my weaker side first, just so I can measure what weight I need to put it on. Next up were step ups with dumbbells. I got a step that was entirely too high, so I was struggling. You should not have your knee above your hips, and that's what was happening here, but I made it work. I couldn't find one that was shorter, but do better. Don't be like me. All right, Friday, bicep tricep back day, one of my faves. Simple dumbbell curls. Can do both hands. You can go all the way down. You can stop midway. You can do single if you want to feel like Arnold and you want to get that good pump. Either way, 6 in one hand, half a dozen in the other, as they say. All right, moving into overhead tricep extension with the rope. I prefer to use the rope. Some people use other equipment, but I actually carry a rope with me when I go to the gym just to make sure I have it available when I'm ready, keeping those elbows nice and tight, not moving too much, and getting that nice extension. My arms don't lock either. Did I say that? All right, now I'm turning around. Alternative, tricep pull down rope. So I used to have a shoulder injury, so the overhead was not an option. So this is also an alternative you can do. Moving into the back, we're doing some face pulls, 3 different levels. This first one could actually go a little bit higher. Right now it's kind of at my eyes, but it could go up a little bit by my forehead, but I totally forgot that when I was recording. So then once I do about 10 to 12 there, I'll bring it down, and now we'll get it right about where the chin is. Pulling from the back. So you are still going to obviously use your biceps, but you don't want to start with your biceps. You want to start with the back and then pull from there. Once I do my 10 to 12 there, or however many you want to do, the next one is going to the boobs. So I'm pulling this one to the chest, just getting a good pump in all parts of that upper back. And I'm standing up. I feel good. I feel supported. Next, we have dumbbell hammer curls. So similar to our bicep curls, we're just the rotation of the hands facing in. We're bringing it all the way up. Sometimes I try to go as straight as possible, but they end up going a little bit into the body, and that is okay. Without using shoulders like I was doing, Aurelia, you're gonna do your tricep press down machine. I have an injury right now on my wrist, so this was not the most comfortable, but it was here, and a lot of gyms do have it, so I wanted to show y'all. But you wanna try to keep your shoulders down and let everything press from the back of the arm from that tricep. Either way, I got a good workout, so sometimes the technique ain't it. One of my favorites for back, cable row machine. Obviously, I couldn't go as far back as I wanted because it was hitting the belly, but keeping those elbows tight, pulling almost on a downward angle a bit to make sure it's not going into my chest. I do lean forward, but not all the way forward, just enough to release the tension, and then I pull back. One of my faves, 10 out of 10, recommend. Next, we have the lat pull down, my other fave. You want to make sure you feel like you're bending that bar and bringing those elbows in so they don't fly out like chicken wings. All right, day 4, whatever day of the week you want to do it. Quads, glutes, and adductors. I hate wall sits. I don't know why, but they just really test my mental fortitude. And this was only 30 seconds, but it felt like 30 days. Next, we have traveling squats. I totally meant to bring my band and I forgot. My bad, y'all, but just imagine a band across my thighs, keeping that tension, not closing the legs too much so that we lose tension in the band, but traveling all the way across. Next, we have leg extension machine, probably one of my favorite quad exercises. Right now, I can't see my quads the way I usually do, but that's all right. We're not here to self-judge. We're here to educate, entertain, and support. Then I realized it was too heavy, so we had to be honest. And that's really important, especially during your pregnancy. If you need to go for the silver, go for the silver. You don't have to go for the gold. Next, we have the adductor machine. This one will get you. If you put too much weight on and you do too many sets, it's going to be hard to walk for a few days. So make sure that you really pace yourself. Still get that good stretch on the out. Nice slow control on the in. Don't worry about putting a bunch of weight on. We'll leave that to the pregnancy, won't we? All right, next up we have travel lunges using the dumbbells. I usually go straight across, but for video purposes, I made a U-turn for you guys. So it'll usually be around, I usually do about 10 to 12. I try to keep that knee not going over the toes. I can't go as low. You don't have to worry about it going as low. And if you don't want to travel, you can do lunges stepping back. You can also do lunges going forward. You can also use a barbell over your back, right on top by your neck. Y'all, this was so much fun. I hope y'all enjoyed watching. If you're wondering how many reps, how many sets, I'll put what I do in the description below. But also remember that this is your personal journey. So there's no ego lifting, especially when pregnant. Do what feels best for you. If you like what you saw, you know what to do. Like, comment, share, subscribe. You gotta like, comment, share, subscribe. Don't make your girl beg. Peace.